All right, so end of the year show. One way to do it is the most important things that happened this year, or the chronology of what happened this year. Obviously, that's excruciatingly boring, and the thing that we ought to do is the best things that happened this year. Only the good things.
Yeah! Good things. That's what we're about.
We're never about good things, which is why we have a special segment on our show that we reserve for good things. It's a very small segment. It's called Best New Thing in the World. So what I think that we can put together, I think we have enough. I know we have enough. It's a question of whether we have enough actually good ones that are still stand up the test of time and all that. Do we have a whole show worth of best new things that are freaking the best new things in the world that ought to be on for the end of the year show?
Easily.
Yes.
Easily. I got one. You could just play. We have about 44 minutes of program, 16 minutes commercial. You could just play this one like 6 times.
You like one more, so much more than?
I personally do, yes.
What is it?
But he's gay.
Yeah.
But he's gay. But he's gay, which has so much unexpected excellence. I mean, but he's gay. You could win with that alone. But then there's more. But there's more. It's so good. But he's gay.
It's the most newsy of all of our best new things. So we should put it right at the top of the show because it's newsy.
But he's gay. And then there's just secret hidden surprises that happen. And you'd think that but he's gay would be the catchphrase of the century. Like, we should have T-shirts like, The Rachel Maddow Show, but he's gay. But it turns out there's an even better catchphrase that comes out in the middle of this. It's so good.
Best new thing in the world today. House Republicans left D.C. today for Williamsburg, Virginia to go to their annual retreat. It's a 3-day event that apparently is titled the 2013 Congress of Tomorrow, which is a little weird, right? As opposed to the 2013 Congress of last month. Anyway, it is their annual 3-day retreat. It is pollster briefings and speeches and strategy sessions. And Politico.com reports that this year there will be 2 motivational speakers for House Republicans. One is a man who used to tour as a comedian with Garth Brooks. The other is this man you see on your screen. His name is Erik Weihenmayer. He's an adventurer. He is famous for having been the world's first blind person to climb Mount Everest. And is this story starting to sound familiar? Blind mountain climber, blind guy climbing Mount Everest. Anybody remember one of the most awesome news bloopers of all time?
Right after the break, we're going to interview Erik Weihenmayer, who climbed the highest mountain in the world, Mount Everest. But he's gay. He's blind. So we'll hear about that coming up.
Okay, as we head to the break, a look at the 6 o'clock.
He's gay. Blind. An Albuquerque news anchor in 2001, right? 5 years later, the clip was uploaded to YouTube for some reason, and a cajillion people got to enjoy the best gay, not gay joke of all time. And yes, that is the same gay, blind mountain climber who will be motivating America's Republican members of Congress tonight. And the best thing about all of this is that Erik Weihenmayer, who was the first blind person to climb Everest and who is the most famous blind athlete in the world and who really is not gay, Erik Weihenmayer has demonstrated nothing but the best attitude about this blooper since he first heard it happening. As it was happening. This is reportedly the video of Mr. Weihenmayer listening to that tease from that Albuquerque station during the broadcast as he waited for the interview. As you can tell, it's bad quality video, but you can see him dying laughing as he hears the anchor say what she said. Since this became a famous thing, Mr. Weihenmayer apparently even runs the video of that blooper when he makes his motivational speeches. He finds it hilarious. So House Republicans might be seeing this right now. A couple of years after the blooper happened, that anchor who did it moved to a Dallas station, and her new station staged a reunion. So years later, she finally got to explain to Erik Weihenmayer why she said what she said.
Right before your story, we had done extensive coverage about the story of a woman who was gay. Gay was in the head, and then we came out to the tease for you, and I was so excited, and boom, it happened, and you were so gracious. We did the interview, we never talked about it, and we moved on, and I'm sorry.
Oh, no, please, I should be thanking you. It's the greatest thing ever.
It is the greatest thing ever. And the guy who thinks so is motivating all of the Republican members of Congress right now as we speak, which is the best new thing in the world today. And you guys be careful, because gay is in the head. Gay was in the head.
Gay was in the head. The Rich
always
Mouse.
is.
Gay was in the head.
It actually makes for a better T-shirt.
Unbelievable. Gay was in the head.
All right.
I say that's the best. That's my favorite best new thing.
All right.
Ever.
Well, all right. Well, what else? Who else has one?
That doesn't top the fire-breathing dragon in Detroit with the DJ booth on the back, and because Detroit's going bankrupt, there's a lot of, and the art is going to be maybe sold, so they did this project to sort of
That was
Save the art.
That was the
Yeah.
Save the Art thing, and that was, of all the best new things in the world this year, that was the most visually stunning one. The Motor City, the great city of Detroit, has produced lots of great cars, lots of great art, lots of great music over the years, and now the great city of Detroit has produced this. Behold the Light Dragon. This is the brainchild of two artists, Detroit-based artist Ryan Doyle and a Hong Kong-born artist named Teddy Lowe. It's called the Light Dragon. It is made entirely of salvaged metal and rubber and lights. It is apparently 60 feet long, and it weighs 17,000 pounds. It sits on top of a stripped-down 1963 Dodge dump truck. It's equipped with 2,500 feet of color-changing LED lights. And because it is a dragon, naturally, it can breathe fire. No, really, it can shoot a 20-foot burst of flame through its dragon nostrils. That part is going to be really important later on in the story, so put a pin in that for a second. The city of Detroit, as you may be aware, is going through a bit of a rough stretch right now. The city filed for bankruptcy in July. They've been under the control of an emergency manager who makes all of the decisions regarding the city's finances. And that has rendered local democracy essentially dead in democracy. One of the things that emergency manager did in the city recently was that he hired Christie's Auction House to appraise the art that is housed inside the amazing and iconic Detroit Institute of Arts. The Detroit Institute of Arts is one of the country's greatest art museums. It has a world-famous collection of Rembrandts and Michelangelos and Diego Rivera's like you wouldn't believe. It is a truly incredible collection of art, and it is owned by the people of Detroit. It's municipal owned. The city owns the collection. It belongs to Detroit and its people. And when the emergency manager announced that he was having the entire place appraised to find out its cash value, like in case he was going to sell it off, Detroit started fighting back. And part of the way they have been fighting back is with art. And that is where the fire-breathing dragon comes in. Late last night, as the rest of the city was preparing to go to sleep, the LED-lit, 60-foot-long junkyard dragon, equipped with its own DJ booth on the back, rolled through the city of Detroit, pulled right up to the front lawn of the Detroit Institute of Arts, and as only a fire-breathing dragon can do, it left a simple message for Detroit's emergency manager about how the city feels about its art museum. Watch this. Save the art. If you're going to try to send a message to the powers that be in your city, that is one way to do it. Set your fabric-wrapped metal sign on fire with the flames you shoot 20 feet out of your dragon nostrils. The artists who created that performance stunt made their escape shortly after setting their protest sign alight. The sign was then extinguished by dragon artist supporters and also by the fire department. However you have been making your political case, however you have been trying to convey your political feelings, you need to know that out there somewhere, there are dudes in Detroit who are getting their political point across with fire-breathing LED 60-foot dragons that breathe fire and that have a DJ booth on the back. The bar has officially been raised, America. Step it up.
Good. Detroit belongs in the best new. I mean, Detroit made it. Good.
But the thing about that is that they're trying to save the art from the Detroit Art Institute, and Christie's just did their appraisal, and they're going to get about something like $500 million for it, and it.
Well, yeah, what they appraised, they could get like 500, 800 million in there, thinking, oh, that would put a big dent in our debts.
Yeah.
Yes, it would also eliminate Detroit's public art collection.
So this is
forever.
a best new thing, but also a TBD.
Yeah, it's a best new fight of the day, and the fight is still underway.
Yeah.
I think they're going to need a bigger dragon.